Let's go. Happy New Year. Glad we're back. Yep. Start over. Daughter pound. 105 and 105 here, good 105, 85, 85, now 5 here, 75, 80, and 75, good to be 85, 85, 85, and 90, 90, 95, 95, dollar pound, good to be dollar 5, good to be 105, good to be 110, and 110, 15, and 15, 20 here, good to 125, and 25, 25, and 30 here, good to be 135 here, good to be 35, and 35 here, good to be 135 here, good to be 35 here, good to be 35 where here, good to be 35 here, sort of 130, Terry, 7. One cow crippled, but one cow's bad crippled, didn't she? One cow's real bad. Hold that bad one. Sell the other one. 125, yeah, 25, and 25, 27 and a half, 30, 32 and a half, 35, 35, 37 and a half, 37 and a half, 37 and a half, going to be 37, 50, and half, 40, 40, 42 and a half, 2 and a half, 5, and 45, 45 here, Jerry out, 47 and a half, 47 and 50, another 50 pound, going to be 2 and a half, 2 and a half, 5, and 55 here, 55 here, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, and 55 here, 5 here, 5 here, so 152 and a half, D3, D on 3. We tried. Sure. Have her back. Come on with it. Rubbin's racing. Huh? You ever seen the movie Days of Thunder? Rubbin's racing. Dollar pound, 105, and 105 here, good to be 105, good to get 5, 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 105 there, good to be 105, good to get 5 and 10, good to be 110, 15, 115, and 15 here, 120, and 125, 25 here, 25 here, 25, and 25, good to get 5, good to get 5, good to get 5 here, so 120, CavX. They're looking pretty good. 135 and 35, you give 35, 35, 37 and a half, 37 and a half, going to be 40, going to get 2 and a half, 5, 45, 7 and a half, 47, 50, and 47 and 50, going to get 52 and a half, going to be 2 and a half, going to get 2 and a half, 5, and 55 here, 55, 57 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and 60, another 60 pound, going to be 60 here, 160, and 60 to bid here, 160 here, D, 157 and a half, 2, D2. Hi, Roy. How old? 3-year-olds? $2. $2, now 5, and 2, 5, to get 5, to get 5, to get 5, and 10, good to be 10, to get 15, good to be 20, to get 5, good to be 30, to get 230, and 25, 30, and 25, and 30, to get 30, good to be 30, to get 30, good to be 30, to get 30 here, Bryce. 225 on number 9. Were they open? Not X and Preg them. Or not, they're not guaranteed on Monday, but just Preg them. Just 9 and Preg. Big is here, 35. And 35, you give out 35, 35, 37 and a half, 42 and a half, 45, 45, 47 and a 50. And 50 bid, 53, 50 down, change, you get 52 and a half, good with 2 and a half, 5. And 55, 57 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and 60. $1.62 and a half, you get 2 and a half, 5. And 65, and 65, 65, 65, 65, 65, 65. And $65, you get 5, you get 5, you get 5, you get 5. Here, S, 162 and a half, 21. Dollar pound, 105, and 105, you get 5, you get 5, you get 5, you get 5, and 5 here, 75, 80, and 75, good to be 80, cents a pound, good to be 85, 85, 85, 85, and 90, good to be 85, you get 90, good to be 85, but 90, 90, you get 90, good to be 90, good to be 90, you get 90, good to be 95, and 95 here, $90, a dollar pound, good to be $1, good to be $1, good to be $1 here, so about 95, S1. Old cows. 135, and 35, you get 35, 35, 35, 37 and a half, 37 and a half, good to be 40, you get 2 and a half, you get 5, 45, 47 and a half, 50, and half, 50, you get 50, you get 50, you get 50, 52 and a half, good to be 2 and a half, 5, and 55, 57 and a half, 7 and 60, $1.60 a pound here, good to be 60, you get 62 and a half, good to be 2 and a half, 5, and to get 5, and has to get 5, 65, 65 and to get 5 and half 5 here, 5 and half 5 here, 162 and a half, 5. Older cows are open. 135, and 35, you get 35, 35, 35, 37 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and 40, you get 42 and a half, good to be 2 and a half, you get 2 and a half, good to be 42, 55, and 45, 45, 45, 45, 45, 45, and 45, you get 5 here, 45, 47 and a half, 47 and a half, 50, $1.52 and a half, you get 2 and a half, good to be 2 and a half, 1, and 2, 51, 2, 51, 2, 1, 2, Brad, yeah, 52, and 52, 3, and 53, you get 4, and 53, you get 4 and a half, 4, 5, and 55, you get 5, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55 here, $5 here, $5 here, 5 here, 5 here, D, 154, 3. Cow market seems pretty snappy, Antone. Older cows, 5 months. 5 months on these cows here. 1,500, 15 and a half, and 15 and a half here, half here, half and a half here, going to be 1,550, and 15 and a half here, half here, half and a half here, going to be 15, that's 16, and 1,600 here, 16 and a half here, half and a half here, going to be 17, and 1,700 and a half, and 17 and a half here, half and a half here, going to be 1,750, and 17 and a half, 17 and a half, 17 and a half, you're out on line, 1,750, and 17 and a half, 17 and a half, 17 and a half, going to be 1,750, and 17 and a half, Christian, you're out, 1750, 17 and a half here, half here, so about 1,700. Lewis won. Lewis on 1.
Yes, sir. Okay.
Older cows. Older mamas here, 120. 120, 250, and 20, to get 2 and a half, 2 and a half, 2 and a half, 2 and a half, to get 2 and a half, 5, 25, 27 and a half, 7 and a half, 30, to get 30, going to be 32 and a half, going to be 2 and a half, 5, and 35, 35, 35, 35, 37 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 to 40, $1.40 pound, going to be 2 and a half, to get 2 and a half, going to be 2 and a half, you get 5, and 45, 47 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 to 50, $1.53, to get 50, to get 50, 150, $1.50 pound, to get 50, 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 now 50 here, Jerry, 147 and a half, 2. Do. Don't know how. $1.50. $55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, outside 5, and 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 60, $1.63, 55, 60, and 57 and a half, 7 and 60, and now 62 and a half, 2 and a half, good with 2 and a half, 2 and a half, 2 and a half, good with 2 and a half, 2 and a half, here's on 160 calf bull. $1.50 and a half, 5, 55, 55, 55, 55, 57 and a half, 60, and down 2 and a half, 2 and a half, 5, now 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 70, 70, good to be 70, bit 70, and 72 and a half, 72 and a half, 72 and a half, 5, and 75, 50, and 77 and a half, and 80, 82 and a half, 82 and a half, 5, 85, 85, 85, 85, 85, here, 85, here, 85, here, Doug, 182 and a half, but on number 10X, Chris, 10X. Rob, who are you rooting for in the Super Bowl? Go Broncos. She's a little 5-year-old. She's 2 months bred. Nice little cow. Who give 1,000? 12 and a half, 1,500, 17 and a half, 2,000, 2,000, 2,000. Here he is again. 2,100, 21,200. 23, bless you, and 23, and 23, and 23, now 4, and 2,400, 500, 5, and 2,500, 500, 5, here, so 2,400, Jerry 3. Five-year-old, 135, and 35, you go out 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, you get 5 here, 5 here, 5 here, that's 750, and 37 and a half here, half here, you're going to be 37 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 of the sold, 135, cabinets, nothing. Five-year-old cow there, here, 135, and 35, and 35, and a half, 7 and a half, 42 and a half, 45, 45, 47 and a half, 47 and a half, 50, $1.52 and a half, good to be 2 and a half, you get 5, 55, 55, 7 and a half, 57 and a 60, $1.62 and a half, good to be 2 and a half, you get 5, and 65, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 70, 172 and a half, 72 and a half, 72.50, and 72 and a half, good to be 72 and a half, good to be 72 and a half, good to be 75, and 75 here, 75 here, 75 here, sold 172 and a half, but I'm done on number 2. William Barton online, if you want to bid on these cows, I'd like for you to call Mr. Bill Barnhart, please. He told me to not accept your bid, sir. So if you'd like to bid on these cows, talk to Mr. Bill Barnhart.
Number 22.
Weigh her, 6-year-old, 130. 135, and 35, you give out 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, 40, could be 40, could be 5, could be 45, could be 50, now 5, and 55, 55, 55, 55, 60, and now 60, now 5, and 5, and 5, here, 5, here, cow, 160 on 21. X, 21X. Lame cow, daughter. 105, and 105, to get 5, to get 5 and 10, to be 110, to get 15, to be 20, to get 5, to be 25, to get 30, to get 32 and a half, to be 2 and a half, 5, and 37 and a half, 37 and a half, to be 40, to get 42 and a half, to be 2 and a half, 5, and 45, 45, 45, 45, 45, to get 5, and 45 here, 5 here, 5, to get 5 here, cabinets, 142 and a half, X. One and open. $2. 205 and 205. It get 5. It get 5. It get 5. It get 5 here. 5 here. 5 here. Going to be 205 and 205 here. 5. It get 5. It get 5. It get 5 here. You bet 210 and 200 here. Going to be 210. It get 210. 15 and 15 down 20. 220 and 220. Going to be 20. Going to be 20. Going to be 20. Brush out 220 and 220. Going to be 20. Going to be 20. Going to be 220 and 220 there. Going to be 20. Going to be 20. Going to be 20. Going to be 20. Going to be 20 here. Sort of a 215 S13. Five and open. $1.50. $1.55. 55 here. 5 here. 5. 55. 55. 55. 60. It's 60 there. 5. 60 here. 5. And to get about 75. 75. 75. Give 80. 85. 85. 85 and 90. Going to be 195. To get 95. Going to be 195. Going to be 195. You're out. Caleb 95 and $2 and 95 to get 2 and 95 to get 2. Going to be 190. 205 and 210. Going to be 210. 15. 220 and 225 and 225 here. 5 here. Going to be 225 and 225. 5 here, 5 here, here, done. 220 on number 22. 2-year-old, 3 months coming in. Thank you. One by three. Just where? $1.50. $1.55. 55. 55. 55. 60. 55. Going to be 70. 55. Going to be 80. 55. Going to be 185 up here now. 90. 95. And 95 and 2 now 5. 205. 210. 15. 215. 15. 20. 5. 225. 30. 40. 240. 230. 40. And 230. 40. Now 40. 40. 40 now 50. 250. 250. 250. 60. 250. 60. Bryce. 250. Center of the chute. 9. Center of the chute. Border. 135 and 35. You give out 35, 35, 35, 37 of hand, 37 of hand. Going to be 40. You get 2 and a half, 45, 47 of hand, 47 of hand, 50 and 2 and a half. You get 2 and a half, 5 and 57 of hand, 7 of hand, 7 of 60 and 2 and a half. You get 2 and a half. You get 5, 7 of hand, 7 of hand, 70. Going to be 170. Going to be 170 and 70 there. $70 here. So 167.50 day 2. $35. Yeah, 35 and 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, 37 a hand, 37.50 and 30, 7 a hand, 7 a hand, 7 a hand, 40, 42 and a hand, good 2 and a hand, you get 5 and 45, 7 a hand, 47 and 50, $1.50, 30, 52 and a hand, 2 and a hand, you get 2 and a hand, 2 and a hand, 2 and a hand, good 2 and a hand, 2 and a half, here's all 150 S2. $1.50. $1.55 and 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 60 and 5 has a good advance, here, going to be 165 and a good 5 here, 5 here, 5 here, now 5 here, sold 160 Gibbon Bull X. Big ones, yeah, Jensen cows. They're always pretty large. 21 of them, 21. Here's a Jensen consignment. Called him in this morning. 135, 35, 35, 37 and a half, 37 and a half, 37 and a half, 37 and 50, and 37 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 40, 42 and a half, 2 and a half, 45, 45, 45, 45, and 47, 50, and 47 and a half, 50, 50, 52 and a half, 2 and a half, 2 and a half, 5, and 55, 55, 57 and a half, 57 and a half, 57 and 60, $1.60 here, 160, and 60 there, $1.60 pound here, $1.60 here, $1.60, 160 here, $1.60 here, that's 157 and a half on 2. Pretty big cow, weigh 1,500. Oh, threes and fours? One's hopping just a little bit, guys. If we need to adjust her or take her off, we'll see how bad she is. Threes and fours. Probably need to pull her off. $1.50, $1.55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 15, half 5, and 55, 60, and now 62 and a half, 62 and a half, 62 and a half, 65, 65, 65, 65, 65, 65, and 65, and 65, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 70, 70, now 2 and a half, 72, 55, and 75, 50, and 77 and a half, 77 and a half, 77 and a half, here you're going to be 77, 50, and 77 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, going to be 77 and a half here, Chris, 175, 9X, one her off, yard him out. Here's some Breds. 6 by 7 and a 5 by 6. 5 by 6, 6 by 7. 2,000, 2,100, and 2,100, 2,100, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2,600, and 6, 7, 7, 7, 7, 800, 9, and 25, 3, and 3,000, 1, and 3,100, 1, you give 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 31, 2, Caleb, yeah, 32, and 32, and 31, 2, 1, 2, 3, and 33, 3, and 33, 4, and 3,400, 4 here, 4 to buy 34, and 34, 5, and 3,500, 600, and 35, going to be 600, 35, 6, and 35, going to get 600, 5, 600, and 35, going to be 3,600, 5, going to be 6, so about 3,500, Chris, 3. Ted, your Facebook post is opposite. Who knew? I kind of had your same thoughts, though. Thank you, Wendy Lou. Eight to 10 years old or 6 and 7? Just right. 1,500, 15 and a half, 15 and a half here, half and a half here, half here, now 16, 16 and a half here, 17, 50, 18, 50, 18, 50, 18 and a half, and 19, 19, 19, 50, and 19 and 2, and 2,000, 2,100, and 21, 21, 21, 200, 1, 2, 3, and 23 and 400, 4, and 23, 4, 23, 4, 23, 400, 23, 50, out on line, 23, 50, and 23, 50, and 23 and a half here, Christian, you're out. 23 and a half, and 23 and a half here. 4, and 24, 24, 24, 24, 24, and 24. We're going to be 24. We're going to be 24. We're going to be 2,400. So 23 and a half. Christian Wade. Hi, Mark. 10-year-old, they're 4 and 5 months bred. 1,500, 15 and a half here, half here, half here, and a half, and 15 and a half here, and a half here, 16, and 16 and a half here, 17, 17 and a half, 17, 18, half here, 1850, 18 and a half here, 1850 and a half here, 1850, Christian, you're out, 1850, 18 and a half here, 1850, 1850, online, you're out, 18 and a half, 18 and a half here, Lewis, 1,801. Here's the opens. Daughter 5 and 105 here. Good to be 105. Good to get 5. Good to get 5. Good to get 5. Good to get 5. 5 here. 5 here. Good to be 105. Good to be 110. 15 and 20 and 20. 21, 20. Now 5 and 25. 25. 30. Good to get 30. Good to be 30 and 25. Good to get 30. Jerry, yeah, 30. Now 5 and 35. 40. Good to get 40. Good to get 40. And 35. 40 times 7 and a half. 40 and daughter 40 and 40 here. 40 and half. 40. Good to get 40. Good to get 40. Good to get 40. Good to get 40. Jerry, 137 and a half. 2. One and 2-year-old, they're 3 months bred. 2,000. 2250 and 2250 and 25 and 25 and 25 25 25 27 and 7 and 7 going to be 27 and going to be 27 and going to be 27 and now 3 and 3,000 and 3,000 I'm going to get 3,000 I'm going to get 3,000 I'm going to be 3 828 now 9 28 now 9 and 2,900 and 20 going to be 2,900 going to get 928 now 9 and 2,900 going to be 2,800 now 9 and 2,900 going to get 900 sold 2,800 done 33. She'd be a little soft-footed, guys. 135, 135, you give out 35, 35, 40, going to be 140, 145, 50, 50, 50, 45, 50, half 5, and 55, 60, and $65, here, 5 here, going to be 65, and 65 here, 5 here, 570, and now 70, 170, TK, 165 on 3. That's what he wants, a 900-pounder. How much you gonna give? $4 a pound. Hey, you're gonna have a bull sale.
Watch your back, Antonio. You don't sell them one at a time?
No. Do I ever want to sell anything one at a time, Coy? You've known me for 8 years. We've been on a lot of adventures together. You haven't learned anything. Anything.
What's the
I watched that this weekend. That's the reason I know it.
deal in April? Did you say it's a church deal?
Mm-hmm.
Trying to tell Melissa that it's not livestock. It's all.
So, that's a good Hereford bull right there.
This one?
Nope. $65. Has a good 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 7 and a half, 70, 172 and a half, 75, 75, 50, and 80, and down 2 and a half, good 2 and a half, 85, 85, 83, 85, here, 87, 89, 91, 91, 92, and 2, 3, and 3, 4, and 94, 95, here, 95, 95, 600, 95, 6, here, 7, and 97, 97, 97, 97, 90, hey, we get 90, hey, we get 90, hey, we get 95, we get 95, we get 95, 99, and 99, 2, and 95, good 2, 95, we get 2, and 95, good 200, and 95, we get 2, good 2, we get 2, good 100. 95, we get 2 here, down 1, and 201, and 201, 2, good 2, we get 2, good 201, 2, Doug, 201, 7. Whose were those? $65. Has a good 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 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 750, 70, and now 70, we get 2 and a half, 75, 50, and 77 and a half, good to be 82 and a half, good to be 2 and a half, 85, 85, 87 and a half, good to be 87 and a half, good to be 86, 7, 87, 83, 89, 90, we get 91, and 92, we get 2, we get 2, we get 2, 3, and 3, 92, 3, we get 3, we get 3, and 92, 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 we get 3, we get 3, so 192, Doug, 7. Jonathan, I ain't missed you, have I? Okay. Just making sure. 175, 75, 75, 50, and 77 and 77, group 80, group 82, group 2, group 85, 85, 85, 87, group 87, group 87, and 90, and 191, and 90, 91, 92, 92, 93, 93, 94, 94, 94, 5, and 95, and 95, 6 here, and 95, group 67, 97, 97, 97, 97, 97, 98, 98 dollar, and 95, 95, 95, 95, group 99, 2, and 95, group 200, and 95, group 299, 2, 192, now 1, and 201, here, 1, here, 2, and 202, now 3, and now 3, 3, and now 3, 4, and now 4, here, 4, there, going to be 204, and 3, 4, now 4, 4, 4, here, Doug, 203, 7. $165, as a good 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 as 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 750, and now 7 and a half, 70, going to be 72 and a half, 75, 75, 50, and 77 and a half, 77 and a half, and 80, and now 2 and a half, 2 and a half, going to be 2 and a half, 4, 84, 84, 86 here, 86, 88, and 80, 89, 89 here, 85, going to be 85, 90, and now 90, going to be 190, and 1, and 90, 91, 91, 91, 91, 2, and 92, 92, 3, and 93, and 4, and 94, 95, 95, 95, 96, and 95, 96, 95, 96 here, and 96, 7, and 97, 97, 97, 97, 97, 98, 99, and 95, 95, 99, 99, 2, and 95, group 2, and 95, group 2, 195, 2, 199, and 2, he sold 199, Doug 7. Yes, sir. 85. 85 there. Group 85, 85, 85, 85, 86, 7. 87, 87, 87, 87, 80, group 80, group 80, group 85, group 85, group 90, and 90, 90, 91, and 90, 91, 91, 91, group 91, group 91, group 91, group 192, and 92, 91, 2, 91, give 2, now 3, and 93, group 3, and 92, 93, group 3, and 93, group 3, and 92, 93, and 92, 3, 3, group 3, and 92, group 3, group 3, here, Doug 7, 192. $195, 95, 95, 95, 95, 95, 95, 95, 97, 97, 97, 97, 95, 97, and 95, 97, 97, 95, 95, 95, 99, 99, 2, and 95, good with 2, 199, 201, and 201, good with 2, good with 2, good with 2, good with 3, good with 3, good with 3, now 4, and 204, and 3, good with 4, now 4, good 5, 205, good 5, good 5, 205, 6, and now 5, 600, and now 6 here, 6, 7, and 7, and 7, and 7, 8 there, 8, 9, 209, 209, 29, and 9 here, 9, 10, and 2, 9, 10, 2, 10, 11, and 2, 10, 11, 2, 10, 2, 11, 11, 2, 11, 2, 11, going to be 2, 11, 2, 11 here, Doug 7, 2, 10. $185, 85 there, good 85, 85, 87, 87, 87, 50, 87 and a half, 7, 9, 92 and a half, 92 and a half, 92 and a half, 91, 91, 91, 3, 3, 95, 95, 95, 97, 97, 97, 97, without 95, 97, and 97, 97, 97, 97, 97, 6, 7, and 97, 97, 97, sold 196, Doug 7. 185, 85 there, good 85, 85, 85, 85, 85 here, 85 here, 87, 50, 87 and a half here, 85, 85, 75, and 75 here, 75 there, 75, 75, 75, 75. Just add a little low fat to your cheeseburgers. $1.50. 2.5, 5, 7.5, 60. 2.5, 5, 5, 7, 9, 69, 70, 170. Sold 169 Debo. I'd rather have one of Brad's cheeseburgers. Wash it down with an ice cold tea. Who'd he belong to? Oh, he just had a back tag, didn't he? Jensen? Would he have a bull like that? Older cows are 5 months. 4 and 5 months bred. 1,500, 15 and a half, and 15 and a half, half and a half here, 16 and 17, and 17, 17, 18, 18, 19, 1900, 1850, 18 and a half here, 19, and 1900, 1900, 1900, and 19 here, half and a half here, 1900, and 19, 19, 1900, and 19, Lewis, 18 and a half on one. Except for Friday. Yeah, they went back one day. Of course, he didn't go. He goes, I'm not going to school. 6 and 7 months on these cows. 15 and a half, 15 and a half here. There's 8 by 7, 10 by 6, and 10 6. Yeah, there here. 17, 17 50, 17 and a half, 17 and a half, 18, 18, 19 2, and 2001, and 2102, 22, 22, 22, 22, 22. Now 2, now 3, and 22 to get 3, and 22 to get 3, and 22 and a half, and 22 and a half. Christian, you're out 22 50, and 2 and a half here, half here, half here, bit of that here. You're going to be 22 50, and 20 to get 2 and a half here, half. Here, sold them 2,200. Done on number 44. $2, 205, and 25 here, 5 and 5 here, 5 to get 5 to get 5 and 5 here, 5 here, $1.50, $1.60, $1.50, 60, $1.50, 60 here, 50, 60 here, $1.50, 60 here, 150, 160, and 50, 60 here, $1.60 here, Jerry, 150, 10. Pretty good little buy right there. Kick him right on some wheat. Land him. Get the hairy stag off. Five-year-old here. 135, and 35, you go back 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, 40, 140, 135, 40, and 40, 40. 5-year-old, what? What's up, Bob? Oh, 5-year-old, I'm sorry, 5-year-old. 135, 40, 140, and 35, 40, 40, 40, 40, 40, 45, 45, 45, 50, $1.50, 45, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, sold 145, Cavernous. Straight. 185, 85 there, good to be 85 there, good to be 85, 85, 85, 85, 85 here, 85 here, 85, 85 here, 85 and 5 here, 75, 50, and 77 and a half, 77, 50, and 77 and a half here, half here, 80, 82 and a half, 82, 55 here, 85 here, good to be 85, you get 5, 85 here, 87, 50, 87 and a half, good to be 87 and a half, 87 and a half here, 87 and a half here, sort of 180. Cavernous Bull. Supposed to be bred. Sit on the chute and have a break check, please. Well, they get bred easier that way, don't they? Six years and she's 5 months bred. 2,000, 2,100, and 21, and 2,100, 2,100, 2,100, want to go, 22, and 22, and 23, and 23, 400, 500, 5, 4, bid 5, and 2,600, and 25, 26, 7, 7, 7, now 8 here, 800, and 27, give 800, 8 here, 27, give 8, now 9, and now 900, 900, and 28, now 9, now 3, and 3,000, and 3,000, 3, and 25, 3,000, 25, 3, and 25, 3,000, 3,000, 3,000, sold her 2,900, Chris 3. Been stood up in the back. Yep. $1.50. $1.55, 55, you can buy 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55 here, 5 here, 25, 30, and 25, you get 30, 25, you get 35, 35, 35, 40, you get 40, you get 40, you get 45, 45, 50, and $1.53, you get 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 60, and 55, 60, 55, 60, and 55, give 60, John, you bid 60, and 55, 60, 5, you get 60, done. 155, put them on number 22. 9 and 10 years old. They're 5 months bred. 2,000, 2,100, 2,100, 2,100, 2,100, 2,100 here, 2,050, and 2,050, and 2,050, and a half here, now one. 2,100 and 2,100 21 21 21 21 21 21 and 2,100 1 and a half and 21 and a half here. Christian, you're out. 2,150 and 21 and a half here. 1 half and a half here. 2,150 now 2 and 22 1 and a half going to be 2 and 2,200 here. 2 and a half and 22 and a half here. Out again. Christian 2,250 and 2 and a half to get 2 and a half going to be 2 and a half going to be 2,250 and 22 and a half here. Want to be it 2,250 and 22 and a half here. Half here. Half here, so about 2,200. Lewis on one. $135 and 35. You give out 40 and 2 and a half, 42 and a half, 45 and 7 and a half, 52 and a half, 52 and a half, 55, 55, 55 and 57 and a half, 7 and a half, 60 and $62 and a half, 2 and a half, 2 and a half, 2 and a half, 250 and now 5 and to get 5, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 to 70, 72 and a half, 72 and a half, 75 and 75 here, 75, 75, 75, 75 here, D, 172 and a half, 2.
I think we'll be done by then.
7 years and 6 months.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
She's been sewed up at one point in her time. You think we better sell her by the head or by the weight? Probably by the weight. 7-year-old, she's 6 months. She has been sewed up there in the back end. Daughter 35. 135 and 35 40 and 35 40 40 35 40 45 45 45 45 45 45 50 and dollar 55 and 55 60 and now 5 65 70 175 175 80 and now 80 75 give 80 and 75 give 80 75 good to be 80 75 good to be 80 75 good to be 80. Ricardo, you're at $80 175 give 80 and 75 give 80 there 80 here 80 here so 175. Jesus Milan. $175, yes, 75, you can buy 75, 75, 75, 75, 75, 75, 750, and 77 out of hand, now 80 there, 82 and a half, 82 and a half, 85, 87 of hand, 87 of hand, good to be 92 and a half, 95, and 95, 97 of hand, 97 of hand, good to be 200, down 2 and a half, good to be 2 and a half, you get 5, and now 5, you get 5, you get 5, 205, and 2 and a 5, you get 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 5, 205, you get 5 here, D, 202 and a half, put them on Doug, 7. Nope. 8.
I get about a roofing call, insurance, mortgage. What else is it?
Did you go ice fishing? No. Older cows are 4 and 5 months. Four and 5 months spread. 15 and a half. 15 and a half here. Have and a half here. Have and a half here. 1600. And 16 and a half here. 17. Have here. Going to be 1750. And 17 and a half. Going to be 18. 18 and a half here. 1900. And 19. 19. Going to be 19. Christian, you're out. 1900. And 19. And 19. 19. Going to be 19. 19. Bit of 1900. 18 and a half. 19. Bit of 19. 19. 19. Here. Lewis. 1850 on 1. Okay. Hold and open. 120, 125, and 25, 25, 25, 25, 27 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and 30, 32 and a half, 32 and a half, 32, 55, and 35, 37 and a half, 37 and a half, 37, 50, and 30, 57 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, going to be 37, 50, and 40, and 42 and a half, going to be 2 and a half, 2 and a 5, and 45, 45, 45, 47 and a half, 47 and a half, 47, 50, and 40, 57 and a half here, half here, going to be 47 and a half here, Jerry, 145, 2. Older cows are 5 to 7 months. 2,000, 2,100, and 21, and 2,100, 2,100, 1, 2, and 21, 1, 2, 2, 2, 22, and 22, 200, and 2, 3, and 23, 3, and 22, 50, and 22 and a half, 2 and a half, 3, and 23, 23, 23, 23, 23 and a half, and 23 and a half, 23, 50, and 23 and a half, 4, and 2,400, 400 here. They got some size to them, 2,400 and a half, and 24 and a half, 4 and a half, 4 and a half, going to be 24, 50, and 24 and a half here, a little bit of a half here, a little bit of a half here, going to be sold. 2,400 done. 44. $1.50, now 5, and 55, and 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, just side 5, and 55, and 55, now 55, 55, 60, 55, 75, and 75, give 80, 85 here, 85, 85, 85 here, 90, and 90, and 90 here, 87 and a half, 87, 50, now 90, 90, 90, 90, 90, sort of 187 and a half, give and boo.
200.
Young heifer, $2. 2 and open. 210 20 and 210 20 we get 210 20 should get 210 20 30 and 230 40 we get 240 we get 250 we get 260 we get 270 we get 280 we get 290 we get 3 and 293 and 290 we get 33 and 90 we get 33 and 90 we get 3 Bryce 299. $135, 35, you get 35, 35, 35, 35, 37 and a half, 7 40, 42 and a half, going to be 2 and a half, you get 5, 45, 47 and a half, 47 to 50, $1.50, we get 50, we get 50, we get 2 and a half, going to be 2 and a 5, and 55, 57 and a half, 57 and a half, 57 and a half, 55, 57, 50, and 57 and a half here, Chris, 155, 10. $7 years and 6 months, 2,000. 2,100, and 2,100, 2,100, 1, 21, and 2,100, 2, and 2,100, another 2, 1, 2, 2,100, 2,100, 2,200, and 21, but 200 here, sold 2,100. Francisco, thank you. Thank you, Rob. Two more, one more. $135, 35, you get 35, 35, 35, 40, 145, 45, you get 50, 150, 50, 155, and 55, 2 and a half, and 52 and a half, you get 2 and a 5, 55, 55, 55, 7 and a half, 57, 60, and now 60 here, 60, Charlie, yeah, 60, and 60 here, 1, 2 and a half, you get 2 and a half, 1, and 1, has 1, 1, 1 here, 1 here, 1 here, S, 165.
Yeah. See the board today? Put back on what they lost Which one? Do we have a yard out on you?
Buckland.
On one of yours, Lewis's? Okay, we'll go through that pen and get one out, I guess. Was it the last draft you bought? Second to last? Just go through there real quick. Was it a four-head deal? Okay, just put. Okay, go to the 2200. There you go. Okay, just put yard out triple. And that'll be Brent Pittman.
Can you tell me the numbers off of it? Say that and start over.
6-year-old cow. $55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 7 and a half, 57 and a half, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 35, 40, and 35, 40, here, 5, 40, and half 40, we get 35, we get 40, 35, 40, and $45, 45, 45, 50, we get 50, 50, 45, 50, 55, and 55 here, 5 here, 5 here, 55 here, Jerry, 152. She's a 5x7, 2,500, 25, and 2750, and 25, 27 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, going to be 27 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 and a half, 3, and 2 and a half, and 3250, and 31, 33, 33, 31, 3, 31, 2, and 3200, here, 1, 2, here, 31, 2, and 3200, here, 1, 2, here, Chris, 3100, on 3. He does. Pretty sharp. Brett Pittman. Yep. Yep. You need to find your card, green card. We got in, Tone. Open count here, 125, and 25, and 25, 25, 25, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 45, 45, 2 and a half, and 45, 45, 47 and a half, 47 and a half, 50, and 2 and a half, 2 and a half, going to be 2 and a half, 2 and a half, 135, and 55, 57 and a half, 57 and a half, 57 and a half, 55, 57 and a half, and 57 and a half here, 57 and a half here, cabinets, 155, nothing. How come you don't do that on Tuesdays with that other auctioneer, Jerry? Because he don't take it? Lewis won you. 4 years and 5 months. Pretty good little black baldy cow. 2,100. 21, 2,100, 21, 21, 21, 21, 2,100, 100, 21, 29, 2, and 2, 3, and 23, we get 4, 500, 600, and 7, and 7, and 7, and 7 of 800, 900, 3, and 3,000, 9, 3, and 3,000, we get 3,000, yeah, Caleb, and 3,000, we get 31, and 3,100, now 2, and 32, 1, 2, 1, 2, 31, 3,200 here, Chris, 3,100 on 3. How's your puppy doing? How's your puppy doing? Good?
This one is in line, Johnny. If you see it, you wonder why.
No.
He's so smart.
Is he smart? Good cross.
Shit, that one?
Yeah?
He's by the horses right there. You see that? You don't even know if he's alive or dead. You don't know, no move, nothing. Nothing move.
The daddy's very smart.
Yeah,
Very smart. Very cow dog.
Yeah.
He likes the cow. He likes to go out there and
I got a stupid pony at my house helping a buddy out, and he goes out there and walks behind the pony, just walks behind it right there by him.
Wait, I got a couple horses.
Yeah.
Horses walk that way, and he walk out there. Stay in the front. You walk him home, stay in the front.
Ah,
He go back, stay in the front.
good dog.
The only thing they barking too hard.
They bark. Yeah.
And mom is a barker.
It'd be nice if you find someone who got another good slot dog or something to put it together a little bit. I don't have the time to make it rain. You got the time to send it to someone for him from Mango too.
Yeah. That's what I'd like to do with my daddy, that send him off and get him trained.
Yeah.
He'd be good.
Yeah.
Did you get seeing your grandbabies over the Yep, she's a buckling.
125 and 25. Jigga she's 10 by 5. 125, 30 and 25. Get 30. 125. Get 30. 25. Get 30. 25. Get 30. 25. Get 30. Get 30. 125. Get 30. Now 5 and 35, 40 and 5, 45, 45, 55 and 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55. Here D 150. 2.
Yep. I think we started watching. Is it the movies that have quit Netflix? Okay, I think we started watching it. I know we did. I think we watched like 2 seasons or 2 episodes, and I think I got tired of it. Does it? Yeah, we started watching it. I was like, you better get my attention pretty quick on a show. Yeah, watch it. Watch it. It's good.
135, and 35, you get 35, 35, 35, 37, going to be 40, going to get 2 and a half, going to get 45, 47 and a half, 52 and a half, going to be 2 and a half, 5, and 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, and 55 here, 5 here, 5 here, Jerry, 52 and a half, 2. Seven years and 6 months. 2,000 and 100, 1 and 2, 2, 3, 4 and 5 here, 5 here, 24 now 5 and 25 and 25, 600 and 6, 7 and 7 and 7 and 7 and 800 here, 8, 9, 9 here, 20, 9 and 29. Online you're out 2,900 and 2,900 here, 900 here, sold her 2,800 done. 9. You got more numbers than Pokey. Nothing. Ten-year-old, they're 5 months bred, guys, right there, here, 1,500, and 15, and a half, and 15, and a half here, half here, half and a half here, going to be 50, 50, 1,600, and a half, and 16, and a half here, half here, now 17, and 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, and 1,700 here, going to be 17, 17 here, Christian, 1,650.
1650 Christian Radio. That come up.
Two weight cows, guys. 135, and 35, you get 35, 35, 35, half, and 37, and 37, and 37, and 37, and 40, and 40, and 2 and a half, 2 and a half, 45, 45, 47, and 47, and 50, and 2 and a half, 2 and a half, 5, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, and 55, 7 and a half, and 57 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 57 and a half, 57 and a half here, 57 and a half here, Kyle, 155, 21. One 45 and 45, 45, 45, 45, 45, 47 and a half, 47 and a half, 47 and a half, 47 and a half, 50, and 2 and a half, you get 2 and a half, you get 2 and a half, you get 5, and 55, 57 and a half, 57 and a half, 57 and a half, 60, and now 60 here, 160, and 60 to 2 and a half, you get 2 and a half, you get 1, you get 1, you get 1, you get 1, 2, 2, 3, and 3, you get 3, and 3, now 4 here, 4, 5, and you get 5, and you get 5, you get 5, 6 quarter, and you get 5, 66 here, 5 here, 6, so 165 D2. $55 and 55 and 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 2 and a half, 52 and a half, 52 and a half, 52, 50, and 2 and a half, 2 and 5, and 55, 57 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 60, and now 61, 1, 2, 3, 4, 64, 5, and 5 here, 5 here, so at 164, Kevin is 3.
I felt bad. I rolled down my mouth way. Guy didn't wave back.
I thought ran into Highline pole.
Highline pole.
Going through Bred.
Was that Saturday night?
We Ubered.
Where'd you go? Go concert?
No, she had a company party
Oh yeah.
downtown.
Yeah.
Needless to say, it was free.
Buck 35, then 35, you go about 35, 35, 35, 35, 37 of hand, going to be 40, you get 2.5, 45, 47 of hand, now 47, 50, and 47 of hand, 7 to 50, you get 50, 50, 50, 150, 150, Jerry out 50, and now 2.5, you get 2.5, 5, and 55, 55, 57 of hand, 57 about 60, and now 60 here, $60 here, 60, a cow, 157 and a half, 21.
So yesterday wasn't no fun. Oh gosh. Should have called me. I wasn't doing nothing. John, I need an emergency. I need you to bring me some McDonald's, Taco Bell, something ASAP. I've been there. Trust me. I give $100 for a Taco Bell.
135, and 35, you go about 35, 35, 35, 37, going to be 42 and a half, 45, 7 and a half, now 50 down, 2 and a half, 52 and a half, 5, and 57 and a half, 57 about 60, and 2 and a half, you get 2 and a half, 5, and 65, and 65, 65, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 70, $1.70, going to be 70, you get 70, you get 70, you get 70, S, 167 and a half, 2. One 135, and 35, you go about 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, 40, 35, 40, 35, 40, 35, 40, 30, we get 40, we get 47-year-old, 140, now 5, and 45, we get 50, $1.55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, and 55, 60, 60, Kyle, 155, 21. $65. As you get five, as you get 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 7.5, 750, and 67.5 here, 70, 72.5, 72.55, and 75 here, 75.50, and 77.5, and 80 there, 80, 2.5 here, 82.50, 82.5, 81, 2, 82, 3, 83, 82, 83, 82, 83, 83, given bull 182.
Jason can sniff one out, I promise you. Cooper can sniff out the cheaper.
She bred 6 months. She's 9 by 6 plus. She's a little bit crippled. She's getting better. 1,500. 15 and a half, 15 and a half here, have and a half here, have and a half here, 1,600, and 1,600 here, have and a half here, going to be 1,600, and 16 and a half here, half here, have and a half here, going to be 1,650, and 16 and a half here, have and a half, now 17, and 1,750, and 17 and a half, 17 and a half, 17 and a half, 1,750, and 17 and a half, it gets 17 and a half, Jesus, 1,700, Jesus. What's her story? 4 years and 8 months. 2,000, 2,100, and 2,100, 2,100, 3, 4, 5, 600, and 6, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 800, 9, and 29, and 2,900, 900, going to be 900, going to be 2,900, and 2,900, 900, going to be 9 here, going to be 9 here. Caleb, 2,800 on number 44X. Done 44X. 4 years old here, $1.50. $1.55, and 55 here, 55, 35, 40, and 35, 40, 35, 40, 35, you get 40, 30, you get 40, 45, you get 45, 45, 50, and 50 now, 5, and 55, 55, 55, 55, 55 here, 5 here, 5 here, cabinets, 150X, straight. Seen the cheerleaders when you were down there, downtown? Yeah, we were at that deal.
How come you weren't down there?
I went yesterday.
Oh, yeah. They were all over.
I didn't go Saturday. Darcy gave me the sheet. $1.55, and 55, 55, 55, 7, 57, 60, and 2 and a half, 7 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 and a half, 67 and a half, 70, and half 70, 70, D, 167 and a half, 2. So I went some yesterday.
Go to my niece's tumbling stuff, and there's no place to sit.
lots of places to sit at that convention center. There ain't nowhere to sit when they're warming up in those rooms.
Way here, 125. Yeah, 25. You got 25, 25, 7.5, 7.5, 7.5, 750, and 27.5, 7.5, 7.5. Going to be 27, 30, 30, 32.5, 5, and 35, 37.5, 37 to 40. Another 42.5, 2.5, 2.5. Going to be 2.5, 2.5. Cabinets, 140. She's got a big abscess on that shoulder. Daughter. Daughter 5 and 105. Going to get 5. Going to get 5. Going to get 5. Going to get 5 and 5 here. 5 here. Going to be 105. A daughter 5 there. Going to be 105. Going to get 5. Going to get 5 and 10. Going to be 110 and 10, 15 and 20. 120 and 20 by 20 there. Going to be 120. 120. Going to be 20. Now 5 and 25. 25 here. So 120. D 2. One little limping guy, she'll be on there. 135 and 35. You got 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, 37 of hand, 37 of hand, 40. A dollar 40, 30, you get 40, you get 40, you get 42 and a half, you're going to be 2.5, 5, and 45, 47 of hand, 47 of hand, 50. A dollar 52 and a half, you get 2.5, 5, 55, 55, 55, you're both out, 55, and 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, and 55 here, 5 here, 5 here, cabinets, 152 and a half. $125 and 25 and 25, 25, 25, 5 here, 5 and 30 and 25, 30 and 25 and 30, 25, 30, 125, 30 and 5, 40, another 45, 45, 45, 45, 42 and a half, and 45, 45, 45, you get 5 and 45 here, 5, and 5 here, Jerry, 142 and a half, 2. $135, 6 row, 35, 40, and 35, 40, 40, 35, 40, 45, 45, 45, 45, 45, 45, 45, 50, and 55, 55, 55, 60, 160, 55, 60, and 55, 60, Charlie, 55, 65, and 65, 70, going to be 175, and 75, give 80, 5, 90, going to be 195, and 95, going to get 200, and 205, and 205, and 5, going to get 5, and 5 here, 5 here, 5 here, done, $2, 22. Three by 7 plus.
She's gotten down. Oh, huh?
As is, guys, $1,000. She's 3 by 7 plus. 700, 800, 900, 1,000, 1,100, 1,200, 13, 14, 15, 1,600, 17, 18, 1,900. Alfonso, you're out. 18, 1,900. Alfonso, you're out. 1,900. Sold Jesus, 1,800. 3-year-old here, guys. $2 a pound. She's open. 210.20 and 210.20. We get 210.20. Got a 210.20. We get 210.20. We get 20.30 and 30.40. We get 40. We get 52. 52.50 and 240.50. We get 50. 52.40 now. 50. 250. 260 and 260.70. We get 270. 260. 270 and 270 pound. Going to be 270. We get 270. Jerry 263. Three and open, $2. 205 and 205. We get 5 and a 5 here. We go to 5 and a 5 here. We go to 5 here. Going to be 205 and 205. We get 5. 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 We get 5 here. We go to 5 here. We go to Bryce. $2. Number 9. Three and open, $2. 205 and 205. We get 5. We get 5 and a 5 here. We go to 5 and a 5 here. We go to 5 and 10. Going to be 210. Going to be 220 now. 20. We get 30. We get 40. 240, 50, 60 and 250, 60 and 255. 260 now 5 and 65, 70. 275 and 275. 275. Give 80 here. We go to 80 here. 280 and 280. Bryce, you're out. 280 and 280 now 5. 85 here. We go to 85 here. We go to 85 here. We go to Bryce. 280 on 9. 6-year-old here, 35 and 35 and 35 now 40 and 35, 40. We get 45, 45, 50 now 5, 55, 55, 60 and now 60, 57 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 57, 50 and 57 and a half, 62 and a half. We get 2 and a half. We get 2 and a half, 5 and 65 and 65 here. Going to be 165 and 65 here. Chris 160, 2 and a half, 3x. Sir, 10x. Whoa. Okay. Eight by 7. She'll still raise you a calf, guys. She may have one big quarter, 2,000. 8 by 7. 2,100 and 21 and 2,100. 21, now 2 and 2,200. 1, 2 200 and 21, 2 and 2,200. 200 now 2 now 3 and 23, 23, 23, 23, 2,300 and 23 now 4 and 2,400. 4 now 4. Going to be 23 now 4 and 24. Going to be 24. Going to be 24. Going to be 24. Christian, you're out. 2,400 and 2,400. 4 to buy 24. There you go. So 2,300. Francisco. Gotcha. 10 years and she's 7 months bred. $1,000. 1,000 and 1,000. 1,000. As is, guys. $700. 800. 10 by 7. 800. Where? 50 cents a pound. 60, 70, 5, 75, 80, 5, 90, $5, $1 a pound, $5. Antone, $1. Not a bit, 105 and 100 out of 5 here. Good to 105. We get 5. 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 105 and 100 out of 5 here. Good to 105. We get 5. We get 5. We get 5 and a 5 here. Outside 105. You get 5 here. 105. We get 5 and 10 here. 110, 15, 20 and 20. 120, 120, 120 here. 120. You get 20 here. 120 here. 120 here. Cabinet's 115, 10x. Pin her with the X's. Who's rodeo? 20 cents a pound. 10 cents a pound. Penny a pound. 2 cents a pound. You bidding, Roy? 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 pennies a pound. A nickel and a penny a pound. That help? 6 pennies a pound. You got him a nickel a pound. S1.
He'll be able to buy Thunder tickets with that money.
5-year-old. 125. Yeah, 25. You get 25, 25, 30. And 25, you get 30, 25, you get 30, 35, 35, 40, you get 45, 45, 50. A dollar 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 60. A dollar 65. And 65, 5 here, 5 here, 5 here. Jerry, 160 on 3.
It's a long time. Some of them old chronics are bringing $2 on Wednesdays.
I stopped at, I went to Great Bend Wednesday.
Yeah.
And stopped at Golden Belt's little meat shop. Pretty
Yeah.
nice. Got me some steaks and hamburger. I wish I got more. Hamburger was cheap, I thought.
It's $9 in the
This was either $5.95 or $6.95 for
80-20.
$1.50. 55 and 55, 55, 55, 55, 60, 55, 70, 75, and 75, 80, 82 and a half, 82 and a half, 5, 85, 85, 87 and a half, 87 and a half, 87, 50, 87 and a half, 87 and a half, sold 185, given boo.
Maybe they're already up there. I don't know. I think it's South Elk City. I think it's at Silver Monty. I think it's like an all breed bathroom sale or something like that. Yeah, I think it's that. I think it's that.
You got mail. Old cows, guys, are all going to go 110. 110, 1250, and 15, and 20, and 5, and 25, you get 30, you get 35, 35, 35, 40, you get 40, and now 40, 137, 50, and now 40, you get 40, you're going to be 140, you're going to be 140, you're going to be 140, I don't know.
5, 6, 7, 8, yeah.
140,
You need numbers?
140, 140. Jerry, 137 and a half, 2. I got it.
137 and a half, Jerry, too. 37 and a half.
What's 60 supposed to know? She's bred. Here, I'll get her number.
Yeah.
What's this? She's a 10 by 3? 10 by 3. 135, and 35, you get 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, you get 35, 40, and 45, you get 45, you get 50, you get 50 and a half, 5, and 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 2 and a half, and 52 and a half, 5, and 55, 57 and a half, 57 and a half, 57 and a half, 57, 50, and 57 and a half, 60, and half 60, you get 2 and a half, going to be 2 and a half, 5, and you get 5, and you get 5, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 750, and 67 and a half here, Lewis, 165, 1. 4-year-old family. 3,000. 32 and a half, and 32 and a half, and 32 and a half, 32.50, and 32 and a half, going to be 2 and a half, going to be 2 and a half, going to be 2 and a 5, and 35, 35, 35, 35, 37 and a half, 37 and a half, 37.50, and 37 and a half, 3,600, and 35, going to be 3,600, here 35, 36, and 36.7, and 37, and 7, and 7, and 7, and 7, and 7, and 7, and 700, and 37, and 3,700, and 36, and 7, and 7, and 7, and 7, highway, and 3,800, going to be 38, and 37, going to get 3,800, and 37, going to get 30, going to get 37, going to get 3,800, 8, sold her 3,700, Jesus. Junior, you're looking like a Jesus. Y'all starting to look the same. 8-year-old family. 25, and 25, 25, 25, 27 and a half, 25, 27.50, and 27 and a half, 25, 27 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 7.50, now 3, and 3,000, and 3,000, I'm going to get 3, and 3,000, I'm going to get 3,000, I'm going to get 3,000, I'm going to get 3, and 3,000, but 3,000, I'm going to get 3,000, here's holder, 27.50, Alfonso Caldwell. Steer at her side. 2,000. 22.50 and 20 to get 2 and a half here, 22.50 and 20 to get 2 and a half, going to be 22 and a half, 5 and 25 here, 25, 25, 25, 25, 25. Take them right ahead of you. 7.50 and 27 and a half here, half and a half here, going to be 27.50 and 27 and a half here, online, going to be 27.50 and 25, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 27.50 and 27 and a half here, half and a half, going to be 27.50 and 27 and a half here, Cowboy, 2,500.
He's as bad as you about sending stuff. Hey, sort that up.
Hey, I ain't had nothing in a while.
He'll try to send me that little spotty cat.
Yeah.
Sort that up.
Yeah.
Odd.
$1 pound, 105, and 105 here. Good 105, get 5, get 5, get 5, and 5, 105, and $105, get 5, get 5, and 105, good 105, good 110, good 110, 15, 110, 15, and 10 and 15 here. Cabinets 110 X, 110 Cabinets X. Catching much, JoJo? $120, 125, and 25, you can buy 25, 25, 30, and 25, you get 30, 25, you get 30, 25, now 30, and 25, you get 30, you're going to be 30, now 5, and 35, 40, you get 40, now 40, 35, you get 40, 35, you're going to be 40, now 40, here's on 135, Cabinets X. Six years and she's 7 months bred. 2,000, 2,100, 2,100, not 2, 2,100, 1, 2, not 2, 2, not 3, and 23, 3, not 4, here, 400, 5, here, 600, and 2,600, 5, 2,600, and 25, 600, and 25, going to be 2,600, 5, going to be 600, 2,500, Christian Wade. That'll be 105, and 105 here, good to be 105, going to get 5, going to get 5, not 10, going to be 110, 15, not 20, and 25, 25, 25, 30, going to get 30, not 5, 35, 40, another 45, 45, 45, 42 and a half, and 42 and a half, 45, 45, 47 and a half, 7 and a half, 50, another 50, going to get 50, 50, 50, and 50, 50, 50, going to get 50, going to get 50, going to get 50 here, D, 140, 7 and a half, 2. Good job, Ricardo. She's a 4-year-old guy, $1.50. $1.55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 60, now 5, and 65, now 70, 175, 75, 80, 80 here, 80 there, 80 here, 75, give 80, and 75, give 80 there, 80 here, 80 here, so 175. Kevin, put him on Charlie, 99. Charlie Brandon, 99. Yeah. I think so. $1.50. $1.55, 55, 55, 57, 57, 60, 2 and a half, and 5, and 65, 70, 170, 165, 70, and 65, 70, 170, 70, 70, 70, 70, 165 on 5. Four-year-old cow, $2. 205 and 205, get 5, get 5, 5 here, $5, get 5, get 5, 205 and $205, get 5, get 5, get 5, get 5, 5 here. She got a bad right front tire. $1. $5 and 105, get 5, get 5 here, 10, 15, 20, 5, 25, and 25 here, 125 here, 125 here, cabinet's 120, put them on number X. 135, and 35, 35, 35, 35, 40, and 35, 40, 40, 40, we get 35, we get 45, 5, and 45, 47, 47, 50, and 2 and a half, we get 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 2 and a half, 5, and 55, 57 and a half, 57 and a half, 57, 50, and 57 and a half here, half here, cabinet's 155, 3. Four-year-old cow, $1.50. $55, and 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 60, and 55, 60, 5, and 70, 70, 175, 75, 75, 75, and 75 here, 175 here, Jerry, 173. $4 years old, $1.50. $1.55, and 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 7 and a half, 57, 60, and 2 and a half, we get 2 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 70, 172 and a half, 72, 55, and 75, 50, and 77 and a half here, 77 and a half here, so 175, put them on Charlie, 99. $52.50, 52 and a half, 55, 55, 57 and a half, 57 and a half, going to be 60, 52 and a half, 5, and 65, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 750, and 67 and a half here, half here, that's 165.21. Six and open, $1.50. 52 and a half, and 52 and a half, 55, 55, 55, 55, 60, and 65, 65, 65, 65, 65, 70, you're going to be 175, 175, 175, and 75 here, 175 here, Charlie, 170 on number, cabinets 3, cabinets 3. Five and open, $1.50. 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55 here, 55, 55, 60, now 5, and 65, 65, 65, 65, 65, 65, 65 here, 5 here, cow, 160.21. How many got left in, Tone? 10? 7 years old. She's 5 months bred. 2,000. 2,100 and 2,100, 2,100, not 2, and 2,100, 1, 2, 1, 200, 200, and 2,100, and 2,100, now 3, and 2,3, and 2,3, Christian, you're out, 2,3, and 2,3, and 2,3, and 3, now 4, and 24, and 24, we're going to be 24, 24, 24, 24, Alfonso, you're out, 2,400, and 2,3, 400, we're going to be 23, 4, and 24, now 5, and 2,500, we're going to be 25, and 2,500, Christian, you're out, 2,500, and 2,500, 5 here, 5, and 2,500, 5 there, 5 here, Solder, 2,400, Alfonso Caldwell. Nine-year-old cow, 125. 125, 30, and 25, you get 30, 25, you get 30, 25, you get 35, 35, 40, you get 42 and a half, going to be 2 and a half, you get 5, and 45, 47 and a half, 47 and a half, 47, 50, and 47 and a half here, Jerry, 145, 2. $55, and 55, 55, 55, 7 and a half, 57 and a half, 57 and a half, 62 and a half, 2 and a half, 2 and a half, 255, and 65, 65, 65, 65, 65, 65, 165, and 65 here, 5, 65, 65, 65, 65, 162 and a half, 21. Four years, 7 months. 2,000 and 2,100 and 2,100, 2,120, now on, and 2,100, 2,100, 2,100, and 20, now 2, and 21, 2, 1, 2, going to be 22, Christian, you're out, 22, and 2,200, here, now 2, now 3, and 23, 3, Alfonso, going to be 23, and 23, 3, going to be 23, 3, going to be 23, 3, going to be 23, 3, Alfonso, you're out, 3, now 4, and 24, Christian, you're out, 24, and 23, we're going to be 24, we're going to be 24, we're going to be 24, 24, and 23, 2,400, we're going to be 24, and 2,400, 2,400, Solder, 23, Alfonso. 5-year-old cow here, 155, and 55, 60, and 55, 65, and 65, 70, 67 and a half, and 67 and a half here, now 70, 70, 70, 70, and now 70 there, 72 and a half, and 72 and a half, 72 and a half here, sold 170, done, 22. 7-year-old, 125, and 25, you get 25, 25, 25, 30, and 25, you get 30, you get 35, 40, you get 45, 45, 50, a dollar 47 and a half, 47 and a half, 47 and a half, 50, a dollar 50, 30, you get 50, 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 now 50, Jerry, 47 and a half, 2. Eight years and 4 months. She don't have one big quarter. Where? Daughter. 110, and 110, and 110, and 20, we get 30, 35, 35, 35, 40, we get 45, 45, 45, 50, and 5, and 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 60, 160, 165, 165, 70, 175, give 80, 185, we get 90, 85, we get 90. Christian, you're out. 185, we get 90. Jesus is in. 185, 90. 185, 90. 85, 90, 85, we get 90. Jesus, dollar, 85. 7 years old here, $1.50. 52 and a half, 52 and a half, 52 and a half, 92 and a half, 55, 55, 55, 55, 7 and a half, 57 and a half, 57 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 57, 50, and 57 and a half here, 60, and now 2 and a half, 2 and a half, 2 and a half, 2 and a half, good to 62 and a half here, so 163. Cabinets 3. $55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55 here, 55, 55, 57 and a half, 55, 57 and a half, 57, 50, and 50 down, 2 and a half, 52 and a half, 52 and a half, good to be 2 and a half, you get 50, $1.52 and a half, good to be 2 and a half here, D, 150 on 2, straight, D straight. Yep, could be. $2. 205 and 205 and 5 and 10 going to be 210 and 210 20 210 20 30 230 230 40 and 240 we get 250 we get 245 50 and 250 we get 250 250 and now 5 and 55 60 265 and to get 70 we get 275 going to be 280 280 and 280 there 280 280 280 here 280 here so 275 Jerry 10. Water open. Whew. $1. 110. Week project. 120. 30. 40. 50. 60. 70. 80. 90. $2. 210. 220. 230. 230. Online buyers, you're out. 230. 240. 250. 260, 270, 270 online, you're out. 270. Jerry, 260, 3. $125 and 25 and 25, 25, 25, 25, 30 and 25 to get 30, 25 to get 30 and 25 to get 30, 25 to get 30, 25 now 30 and 35 and 35, 40 to get 40 to get 40, 35 bid 45 and 45, 45, 45, 45, 45, 45 to 45 so 140 Jerry 2.
I don't know, about 10. Another 10.
Boo. 250. 255, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 255, and 55 here, 5 here, Jerry, 250 on 10.
Just me or is this more?
5 years and 6 months.
Typical red Angus. Right in the back.
2,000. 2,100, and 2,100, 2,100, 2,100, 21, and 2,100, now 2, and 2,100, 1, 2, now 2, 22, now 3, and 23, now 3, now 4, and 2,400, 4, Alfonso's in, everybody else is out. 24, 2,400. 2,400 and 23, get 4 and 24, now 5 and 25. Online buyers are all out. 2,500, 2,500, 5 here, you get 5 here, 5, 25, 25, 25, now 6, 2,600, sold 2,500. Alfonso Caldwell. 5 years and 6 months here, 2,000 and 2,100 and 2,100, 21, now 2 and 22, now 3 and 23, we get 4, 5, 600, now 6 and 6, 7, 7 here, going to be 2,700 and 27, 7 is online, right, 27, 2,800 and 27, give 8, now 9 and 29, but 9 here, 8, now 9 here, 3 and 2,000, 31 and 3,100, now 1, now 2, 1, 2 and 3,200 and 31, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, sold 3,100. Junior. Seven-year-old cow, we're here, 35, and 35, you get 5, and 35, 42 and a half, 45, 45, 47 and a half, 50, and 2 and a half, we get 2 and a half, we get 2 and a half, we get 2 and a half, 5, and 55, 57 and a half, 57, 60, and now 60, $60, we get 60, and 60 there, Kyle, 157 and a half, 2-1.
Pretty nice gentle cow. And a little gin on it right rear. Walks a little gingerly.
Seven years and 7 months. 2,000, 2,100, 2,100, 2,100, 2,100, down 2, and 2,2, and 2, 3, and 23, 3, 4, and 2,400 here, 4, now 5, and 25 here, 5, 600, and 25, 600, 25, 6, 7, and 7, 7, 7, 800, 8, 28, 28, 29, and 29 here, 9 here, 29, 9, 3, and 2,000, 3,000, 3,001, and 3,100 here, 131, now 2, and 3,200 here, 2, and 2, 3, and 33, we get 33, we get 33, sold 3,200, Junior.
That's all of them.
That's it.
That's it, guys. Thank you, cow buyers. Y'all have a great week. We'll see you back here maybe tomorrow. Don't know just yet. I don't know yet. Haven't heard. See you guys next week.